Last time on Desperate Attune, the crew crashed two meetings. The first was between Biscoot and the Bob, pillars of the Kittersea and Scotlander communities respectively. They were trying to settle the differences between the two factions, but unbeknownst to them, Biscoot was in the crosshairs of the Flatbread Uncles for selling biscuits without their approval. The loss of Biscoot could not be tolerated, and when the crew was alerted to the danger by the Bone Shakers, they rushed to the rescue. Saeeda learned that the meeting was taking place on the banks of the Dasha River, and Pejal, the crew's spy in the Flatbread Uncle ranks, told Mushfiq of the Uncle's plan to launch an amphibious attack by riverboat. The two quickly made their way along the riverbank, and as Biscoot and his cohort came into view, a Sparkcraft-powered barge carrying Cutlet and his goons pulled up alongside them at an alarming speed. Mushfiq had adopted his Captain Mackerel persona, hoping that the sight of the nominally Scottish captain and the Kittersea Saeeda working together to save Biscoot and the Bond would unite the two refugee communities. He suggested that they might beat the barge in a race and shore up the defenses around the meeting, but Saeeda took a more direct approach. With a prayer to the Prince of Endings, she leapt across the water towards the barge, her sash in hand. Unfortunately, this Flatbread Uncle had his own patron deity. Empowered by the seven-headed god of war, Cutlet plucked Saeeda out of the air with a lasso, pulled her in before sinking his dagger in her stomach. Meanwhile, Bidrohi and Clem were dealing with the crew's falling star problem. The Falling Star's patron, Anrakhis, was meeting the Fursan at the recreation center to discuss how they might protect his monopolies. Bidrohi planned to attend this meeting, send the word out that he was out of prison so that Falling Star assassins might try to kill him at said meeting, where he would embarrass them in front of their patron, thus cutting them off from his support. Bidrohi and Clem, along with Fursan Julika, arrived at the meeting as Gulab Jamun delivery men. The guard at the door had been told not to let anyone in, but the abundance of sweets arrayed on Clem's fine shield stole the disguise and bought their way in. Inside, they saw Anish seated at the only table in the enormous space with Mumtaz, Captain Ruxan of the Fursan, and Cherubino. Clem encouraged Bidrohi to challenge Anish for Mumtaz's hand, and Bidrohi was only too happy to comply. Dropping his disguise, he approached Anish and formally lodged his complaints. 1. Anish was dating his girlfriend. 2. He had been unkind to Timdorchi. And 3. He'd been sponsoring the Falling Stars. Just as Bidrohi finished, the waiter at the table revealed himself to be the up-and-coming Falling Star assassin Dalim Dimbuddin, and nearly ran him through.
Uduasha City, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow, where dancers cavort in forbidden operas, making love to forgetting and flame, where the wealthy play at war with silver swords and silken sashes, where the people mine the dead heart of a burning star for cannonballs and pipework, and where 1,000 secrets hide in a forest of paper and ink. Here, the 5 keybearers reside, the 5 who know the secrets of the broken gates of death. 5 only. There is no 6th spire, forlorn and forgotten in the desert. There is no one who looks to the displaced, the poor and destitute and landless, whose ancestry has been stripped from them by foreign looms and foreign sparkcraft, and no one has ever heard of the House of Endings. But this is their story. Their roots pulled up and burned, they stand in filth up to their necks. And that is precisely why they must keep their heads ever high. Welcome to Uduasha, immigrant. May it fear the name of the house you will build. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about characters with their identities in peril, played by an international cast devoted to fiction-first gaming, collaborative world-building, and complex character drama.
Should I continue, or...?
No, I think let's cut to Clem.
Okay, good.
Because, for one, this guy is not alone. They know how dangerous Bidrohi is, so he is jumping out to, steal the glory. So I guess the guy he has with him is the chef. So we have this, Hong Kong action thing of the chef drawing forth an enormous cleaver.
Yes.
Rushing out of the kitchen at the same time.
So Anish and Rakis wants a show. We're not going to give him one, because giving him a show is what he wants. Let's humiliate these falling star assassins in the easiest way possible. I think while still in disguise as a waiter, Clem is just going to use their fine shield to clothesline the chef.
Ah, yes.
See, these people are so inept, a waiter can take them down.
You should leverage the fact that your shield is currently very sticky.
Okay, I have to ask, are you now imagining that people make like gulab jamun in this setting with just a little bit of binding oil? Is that how you're...
Oh no!
No,
These
we
aren't
will not
made
go
by
there.
vicars.
No.
I see. They're not
Man.
vicars. They are not vicars.
Yes,
This gulab jamun.
they're
Good.
literally not
These are
vicars.
butlers. These are butlers, gulab jamun.
Yeah.
They're good.
Very good. I was just wondering how sticky is sticky, you know? Anyway.
I mean, I do have a bandolier.
Mhm. And this guy is pretty tough, but you can stop him in his tracks, at least. So you have standard effect because you have your fine shield.
Mhm.
And, I think your position here defaults to risky, actually, simply because you hadn't drawn attention to yourself prior to this.
Mm.
So I think risky standard, which means you can trade for desperate great and actually knock him out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to trade for Desperate Great to turn that into a knockout blow. And I suppose, what would extreme effect look like here if I was to push myself?
Okay, so extreme effect, if you were to push yourself, would look like not only do you like knock this guy out of the fight,
Mm.
you're aiming to humiliate these guys, so you make it look extremely easy to knock him out is the first thing. And I think the second thing is you can make it abundantly clear that he is a cool fighter before you do it. So like he will do, not only does he rush out and then you clothesline him, right? He like rushes out, does some cool kata that Anrakhis can see, like swings around his sword in a pattern, showcases that he's clearly really amazing, and then you hit him.
Let him juggle his cleavers for a bit.
Yeah, so you kind of do the Indiana Jones scene, right? Of guy swings his sword around and then you just one hit kill.
Perfect.
I believe in you.
I'm going to push myself for effect. I think this kind of goes down nicely under wreck.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
rocking
it
this
does.
guy.
Desperate extreme wreck.
Brother, are you with me?
Oh, yes, indeed I can be because of my free assistance, which Yes, I still have one. Excellent, yeah. My assistance is that I made your shield sticky.
I have a better
Are you
idea.
sure you want this with you?
I mean, it's true. We have established the fiction has happened.
Yes. I think also the assistance is like as Clem leverages the shield, right? Some gulab jamun like fly off it and get in his face and distract him. Because some are probably still stuck on there.
Yeah, it's as we established, it's quite dark at the rest of the restaurant, so you didn't see it properly. That it's still there.
Okay.
This is my contribution.
Very good. Well, then
Please
you have
enjoy
a
it.
bonus dice from Sticky Shield.
I'll take it, but I don't want it.
And you're pushing for effect, which means you can
Yes.
still take a devil's bargain. Let me think if there's... oh yes, actually, I have like kind of like an interesting devil's bargain. That's not necessarily that bad, but which reveals something about Clem. So I will say, you do this, and at the exact same time, you happen to look out the window because you like have to get up close to the window to catch this guy to see Saeeda being absolutely destroyed down below you, and see that like her life is in dire peril. That's how it looks like from your vantage point, at least. Like, Saeeda's about to be literally stabbed to death beneath your feet. So if you take this devil's bargain, not only will you see Saeeda's situation, you will interpret it as being worse than it actually is.
And it is pretty bad, so it must be really bad for it to be worse.
Oh, I think I see you, like... I don't see you. I see I see somebody about to get executed. Like, traumatic flashback style.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool, yeah, I'll take that.
Yep.
So that's 2 bonus
I think it's
die.
interesting to see how Clem reacts afterwards, mostly. So that's why I'm offering it.
Yeah, let's see. That is a 6. That's a 6.
Well.
Okay, yeah.
That's a lot of dice. What?
I spec'd really hard into wreck.
Yeah.
Everyone becomes aware that the chef is really cool, possibly even cooler than Dalimuddin. But then he's one hit knocked out by by what amusingly appears to be just a very large tray, because that's how you've been using your shield so far.
Oh no! I have to go to the back. Oh my god! Just Clem's still is buying in hard to this. They've learned from best himself, Captain Mackerel downstairs.
Yeah. Yes, this is absolutely a pro move. So you just look like an embarrassed waiter who happened to bump into him really hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. And then I want to keep the spotlight on Clem a little bit, because what is your reaction to seeing this scene unfold below you?
I think they freeze stock still just for a moment. And the act certainly drops, and they're going to vault out the window.
Excellent.
Great.
The mysterious waiter.
Yeah. Let's do that action right away, because it ties into what's going on with Saeeda, so then we can cut to the action there. So you're also trying to jump down on the boat, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to offer you exactly the same situation as I offered Saeeda. It's desperate because it's a death-defying leap, and it's limited because actually squarely landing on the boat is not something you can just do by default without a special ability.
Yeah.
So it'll be same deal. Like, you land in the water near enough that you can grab it, but...
Cool.
Unless you push for effect or activate an ability or something.
Yeah.
Can I assist somehow?
I guess
am
you
I
could.
so swamped?
No, you took the harm, not the grappled thing, so you can indeed assist.
Okay.
And I guess you can see Clem up above, so...
Yeah, I'm stabbed, fighting desperately, to be clear. I'm absolutely mobbed. But I think that, so I'll take one stress, and I think, like, one of the things that being an Ustad also lets me do is that I can create an opening for another warrior of my school. And I've practiced with Clem, right? So I think what's happening is that, like, I'm in a terrible position, but I'm hoping to distract everybody around me. So that they're not paying attention to Clem, so that Clem has a bit more room potentially to land in.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you... So is this a special ability or just an assist that you're framing?
No, it's just an assist. I'm just, like, fictionally saying, oh yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you have a bonus die, Clem.
Awesome. So I have a best friend, professor, teacher, kindly scholar from around. And I've got a mind link, and that thing can fly.
Yes.
I jump out the window, I grab Professor, swoops down, grabs me, and I drop right on top of Cutlet.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm still in disguise as a waiter.
Okay, so rather than do this as group action with your cohort, if you're okay with it, let's just have this be standard effect.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So it also looks extremely cool. There's this, like, weird bat creature that swoops out of the sky, grabs you, you swing from the bat creature and land on the boat. Hopefully, we'll see. But you're a desperate standard now, so you can do it.
Desperate standard.
The thing about this also is that even though there's no spirit wardens in this setting, this is really fucked up.
Yes, and there is a guy nearby who can detect demonic activity. So, I mean, this is not necessarily subtle. And in fact, let's throw on a devil's bargain on top of that then. You have standard effect for using this. Your devil's bargain is simply that Anrakhis recognizes this thing, and he is absolutely not going to tell you anything about it because this is like a state secret. But he recognizes it.
A vigilante with a state secret.
Yes. So
Excellent.
that's your devil's bargain. Okay. And it establishes something, because if you take this devil's bargain, then it establishes that House Anrakhis, for whatever reason, knows about these things.
True. Very true. I think that's quite an interesting thing to establish. So yeah, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. And this I think folds in nicely to traumatic flashbacks as well. So I'm going to spend 2 stress to roll my trauma. 2 traumas plus 1. I'll roll 3 dice.
Very good.
Then I've got an additional 2 from this devil's bargain and the assist.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm aware, what's happening is somebody that she's seeing herself execute the Baron again, and
yeah.
Can't have that be happening.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Desperate standard.
Desperate standard.
Yeah, so I'll roll prowl and then I'll add on extra die. Fantastic. That's a
Oh my god.
Devil's crit.
That's okay. So
Nice.
I think your crit bonus, if you want it, you can suggest something else. But if you want it, the obvious thing is that you land on Cutlet and disable him from fighting. Like, you don't land on him so that you crush his ribs into the boat and he dies, right? But you crash into him hard enough that he falls over and gives both you and Saeeda the initiative.
I have a request from Salty. Not from Clem, but from Salty.
Mm-hmm.
Please say Kawabunga.
No.
And as Clem, not salty, I'm vicious, so I'm not going to say that. And
But I
haunted.
asked you, not your character. It would make sense
yeah.
for your character to say Kawabunga.
Anyway, yes, Clem.
Kawabunga.
Okay, I see it. I see what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sorry, mate. Please go on.
I'll take what you mentioned.
Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
you barrel into this guy after he has stabbed Saeeda. He is thrown backwards in his boat. This is, I will remind you, not a huge boat. So it rocks around pretty badly with this impact. I think it gets thrown even more on, of course. His men are all in a disarray. And they're nowhere near as good at fighting as him, but they still can fight. More importantly, though, they're busy trying to steer the boat towards Biscoot. But Clem, you have the initiative. What do you say or do as you land next to Saeeda?
I don't think Clem says anything. Pithy one-liners are their thing. And
Yeah.
at this moment, they are fighting themselves, which is pretty fucked up. So they're just going to be from the superhero 3-point landing.
Yeah.
Panting pretty hard.
Yeah.
And they look at Saeeda and they are clearly not looking at Saeeda.
Yes.
And what's Saeeda do?
Normal and sane. I bleeding. Look at Clem and say, "Nice landing. Now we can just push him off the boat. I think we'll be fine." And I think what I want to do is try to not I cannot kill this many people or even harm them meaningfully. What I might be able to do is push a couple off the boat in such a way that the rest of them also fall off the boat, because it's a boat, it's not super steady, and I have a wind demon in my sash. And so, I have given up on not given up. I landed. I looked super cool.
Yeah.
If I can just push everybody off somehow, then I think I'll be fine.
So basically, what you're trying to do is partially capsize the boat. It sounds like.
But I want to remain on the boat.
Yeah, but tilt it enough that people fall off. Yeah. Okay, it sounds like a wreck action to me.
So what I would like to do here is, I'm happy to lead this, but I would like to do a wreck action in a group with Clementine, who has very many more wreck dice than I do.
Sure. If Clem is
that fine?
meaningfully doing that.
Yeah, I think, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Tossing off all of these thugs. Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. I think I will frame this as risky standard, because they're already discombobulated, so it's not desperate. They can't kill you in retaliation. But it's risky, obviously, because it's a rocking boat and whatever. And standard effect in that you can throw a bunch of the thugs off. Absolutely.
Okay. I was gonna, I would like to do it anyway, because I'm at 0 dice. I'm notionally at -1 dice, in fact, because I've got a gut wound, and maybe trying to wreck something is exactly what you shouldn't do. So I will call upon Samum to go from -1 die to 0 dice. Because I have an ability that lets me speak the names of demons for my own purposes. And I will whisper quiet and low, but it's possible that Clem, being attuned to the ghost field, hears it anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I-
Absolutely. That brings you to 0. You can get to 1 with a devil's bargain. And this is a bad devil's bargain, so I
Ooh.
want to clarify it, but it's there.
Sure, but I want to hear it.
Yeah, Anish Anrakhis has just been alerted to supernatural activity in the area. He is paying attention. His demonic senses will pick up on this.
Yes. This
and
is bad.
he will know that you have bound the demon.
Yes, I do not want to do this. Because if he's going to find out, it'll be on my terms. So
Very
no,
good.
but I think it's a really good devil's bargain. I'm glad I got here. Yeah, so I'm at 0 dice for risky standard. Clem, I will
But
roll
Clem is
first
joining.
so that so that
Yeah,
you know what you're working with.
Yes.
Cool.
And you do take stress if you fail, since it's a group action.
I
That's
took
fine,
1
you do
stress
fail.
because I rolled a 1 and a 2. So it's really good that I didn't take the devil's bargain, kind of, because it would have still been crap. Right?
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just flat roll this. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. That's a 5.
Yes.
Okay, so the boat tilts, a bunch of guys fall off, the boat rocks, and they were trying to steer it to like get it back on course now. And the consequence, unless you resist it, is that miraculously, accidentally, by tilting the boat this way and throwing off a bunch of Cutlet's thugs, he's left with, let's say he has 2 thugs left. So it's just him and 2
Right.
guys on this boat. Everyone else is scattered off. Miraculously, you course correct and the boat speeds straight for the barge and reaches it.
Oh my god. You know, I'm not going to resist this because I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
But if Clem wants to, he can. And also, wow, yes, this is like high stakes Scooby-Doo.
Meanwhile, then, Captain Mackerel, you're on this barge, along with the other Skovlanders, watching nervously the speedboat that suddenly jerks to one side and shoots straight towards the barge. And you hear Biscoot very loudly beside you go, "Oh dear, those poor fellows, we have to help them." He's gonna rush to like throw life buoys. What's the word? Like, I lost the word now, but the round, the round lifesavers.
Yeah. Life tubes. Yeah.
Yeah, the round stripy things. He's gonna throw those to the poor fellows who fell into the water, which unfortunately puts him right by the railing. What do you do?
Yes.
What's a Cutlet situation? Like, Clem battered him.
Yeah,
and then
he fell over. I think he's like lying back against the motor of the boat, so like at the back of it, he kind of like slammed into it. He's getting to his feet.
Okay.
But he's disoriented. But he is here now, and like, if he takes a prodigious leap up on the barge, he could grab Cutlet, pretty much. Or Biscoot, sorry. Both of these men are named after food. It's very confusing.
Yes. That was on purpose, in that it was Klow who named both of them as jokes. And they appear to be serious deals.
Sorry, what?
Specifically.
Sorry, what?
You named both Biscoot Bachan and Cutlet.
Biscuit Bachan is not a joke. It's perfectly reasonable for someone before industrialization to be named after what they do.
Yes.
There's so many screwwallas in...
This is not a joke.
Yeah, screwwalla, tire-walla. Yes.
This may sound like I'm being deadpan, but it was not a joke.
No, I get you. Yes, I just realized there are actually 3 men named after food because we also have a Mr. Puddin upstairs. But anyway.
Oh, why would you say that?
So Mushfiq, I think, does want to get Biscoot Bachan out of danger. He's precious to the community, and no harm should come to him. So he just says, "No, it's too dangerous. I've seen this before. Let a seaman take care of this."
Oh, for fuck's sake.
My god.
Okay. I mean, absolutely. It sounds like either a sway or a command to persuade Biscoot that you are better suited to save these poor innocent men.
Yeah, it's a command, I think. I'm speaking with authority, despite having no points in command whatsoever. So,
more authority in this situation.
Yes, very good. So I think it's a risky standard, and the risk is, if this succeeds, at least you're putting yourself in harm's way because Cutlet will need to go through you, which is kind of what you want. But he will be able to do it if there's a consequence. Like, he'll be able to attack you. But it's standard effect in that I think it's possible to persuade him. It's a pressured situation, and in these sorts of situations where people have fallen overboard, taking the initiative, it makes sense to listen to someone who seems to know what they're doing. So
Yeah, but I have no points in command, so someone help me out here, or give me a devil's bargain.
Remind me what you're trying to do.
No, I'm just trying to get Biscoot to get to safety while Captain
Trying to
Mackerel
get
takes care of
Biscoot-
this.
Yeah, Biscoot is trying to rescue the people who fell into the water, and Captain Mackerel is going like, "No, let me do it. You stay back."
Yeah.
Because Biscoot has no idea that the men who fell in the water are trying to kidnap him personally, right?
Okay, so he suffers from very poor self-esteem.
Mhm.
You're telling him, don't do this, leave it to me.
Mhm.
You're going to
Mhm.
make him feel even worse about himself.
Is that
That's
your
a
devil's
devil's bargain?
bargain?
Yes.
No, I think I don't think it's good enough. It's funny,
No,
but it's
no.
not. Mm-hmm.
Good. Don't make him feel bad about himself.
Uh-huh. Okay, no, I have a devil's bargain actually. I have an obvious one, and it's just that you are putting on a show of being good at this,
Mhm.
but you're busy with Cutlet. You're actually trying to get Biscoot to safety. You're not really focused on what you do. One of these
Oh, no,
guys
I
will
don't.
drown.
Oh,
The devil's bargain is that one of them will drown, which generates heat and also makes you look bad, right? Because you tried to save him and failed,
Yeah.
which may be
Ooh.
bad for your Captain Mackerel persona.
Yeah, the one that I was going to suggest, by the way, was you're jumping in the water, you got to take everything off. You have nothing on you.
Yeah, no.
But,
I
yeah.
think because you're throwing like lifesavers and lifelines and stuff.
Makes sense.
They are actually equipped with this because they're a union barge,
I-
you see, so they have safety
Ah,
requirements.
yes. Correct, yeah.
I think this also makes sense in character. I think for Mushfiq to just be like, "Oh yeah, look, you're important. You go to safety.
Yeah,
I don't really care of the people attacking you."
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it will look you are just pretending to save these people, but it will look like you tried to save them and failed, which will somewhat
so,
tarnish Captain Mackerel's
Yeah,
reputation.
that makes
But
sense.
yeah.
I'm doing this in a very half-assed kind of way
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
the idea here is to get Biscuit to safety. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy
Okay.
with that. Here we go, and it's a 3. No,
It's
well.
a 3.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, the obvious failure here is that Biscoot sees the drowning man, and he goes, "No, we'll work together," he says, and he jumps in the water. Unless your
Oh, for fuck's
sister
sake.
is gonna swim after this guy.
Oh man, this is too good to resist. Actually, this is...
Okay, so yeah, Biscoot just hops in the water in a desperate attempt to save these people, and he shouts out, "They're just innocent men."
It's normal, man.
They're
Yes.
just
Jumping
normal
with
men!
him. Jumping with him, Captain Mackerel.
And then Mushfiq says, "What do you mean, normal man?"
Yes. Okay, so Biscuit has hopped in the water, and you actually made the situation worse.
Yeah.
And now he's desperately trying to save a drowning man.
There's an
Uh,
entire
good.
gang
Can I
organized
continue
around. I was going to say there's an entire gang organized around worshipping something fucked up that lives in the water.
Yes, I know.
Please continue.
I think actually now is a good time to cut back to Bidrohi because everyone's taken an action on the ground. Like Cutlet is on his feet, Biscoot is in the water, and so on. But let's cut back to Bidrohi, who has crossed blades with Dalimudin Pudin.
No, I'm not crossing. I have not crossed blades with him. I have held his hand, and as he's like poked his blade. So essentially, I have an armpit under his arm, and his sword hand is sticking out.
Yeah.
And I think the sword is pointing at the table. And then I think the game plan is to continue to try to humiliate them, and we'll see how that goes. I don't actually want to fight anyone if I don't actually have to do it. Maybe I might have to do it at the end, but first things first, I'm going to humiliate them. So I have the gallant ability. When you perform feats of finesse, it's especially impressive. And the feat of finesse that I'm going to perform is that, so he's got his hand out under my arm. I'm going to extend my hand's going to slide forward, and it's going to clasp with his hand. And then I'm going to spin him around, and then I'm going to hold his other hand, and I'm going to lead him in a dance.
Perfect. Yeah, it sounds like a finesse action.
Yes, it's and we will dance to the beat of the really badly played harmonium in the background, as we established earlier. Yes, it is. Yes, I also have even the odds. I'm fighting unarmed, essentially. Because essentially, I am grappling with him to prevent him from stabbing me as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just me dancing. Okay.
So, since you caught his sword arm, I think that how I'm going to frame this is I'm going to start you at risky standard, I think.
Okay.
Because I don't see this as being desperate. He doesn't, he can't, again, immediately stab you to death from this position. But of course, there is some risk of harm or him gaining the upper hand or whatever. And the standard effect is simply making him look silly. You don't do any damage to him here or anything, but you definitely succeed in humiliating him, which is part of your goal. So,
would great effect be essentially that, I humiliate him and his gang so much that this is like the final straw?
So I think great effect here will be. Okay, I will frame it one of two ways, right? Great effect will either be that you can both do this and twist his arm, do some harm to him, actually disable him from fighting, or you can humiliate him so much that Anish and Anrakhis buys your point. These guys suck ass, but then whether you succeed or fail, this guy will break free and still try to kill you.
The latter suits me better.
Yeah,
I get it's a finesse roll. I get a bonus dice from even the odds, but I also remove a dice for my injury.
Yep. So you're trading for desperate standard, is it?
Yeah, desperate great. Yes, absolutely. I think it looks more like it's not just me dancing with him for a bit. I kind of yell out, "Can you play?" I don't know, and then I kind of ask for something that sounds like, I don't know, Latin, Spanish dance beat, and then I kind of lean down as though he's I kind of lean down, and then there's rows in my teeth which I pop into his mouth.
Yes, perfect. Okay, we don't have the rights to it, but imagine Por una cabeza.
I don't know what that is,
here.
But okay.
It's a tango song.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. May I solicit a devil's bargain?
Okay, this is what came to mind, and you're not gonna take it. But the floor is scattered with gulab jamun, and both of you will step in them.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, this largely tarnishes your image, I think, a little bit, right? It's.
No, I don't want to be the gulab jamun man.
Well, you've set yourself the fuck up for it.
I know. I don't want that to be my duellist thing. That's like my passion for food. These are separate identities. As I said, I'm multidimensional. I don't want them all to be collapsed into the same dimension. Yes. Okay.
This is why I suggested this devil's bargain. It's very stupid, and I guess you're not taking it. Very good. Well, it is what I have for you.
May I give myself one devil's bargain?
Okay, sure. If you have a suggestion,
you can tell me if it counts as a devil's bargain. Captain Ruxana likes me a lot better than her current man. This is not a good thing for me.
No, I think you have enough of this going on already.
That's true.
Bidrohi hasn't however, I do have a possible one in kind of the same direction, which is that Mumtaz gets annoyed with you because she is trying to pull a job on Anish and Anrakhis herself, and I think you were overdoing it.
Well, what did she expect me to do? She didn't tell me what she expected.
Actually, that doesn't make any sense. She knows you do this kind of shit. You've been dating long enough that she knows you do this kind of shit. I don't have any devil's bargains. You can push yourself, but I don't have devil's bargains.
No, I'm quite close to trauma, so I'll just keep it. I still have 3 dice baseline, so let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All right, desperate great, 3 dice.
It's a 6.
A 1, and a 6. Yeah. So tell me what this looks like.
It's, as I said, we dance for a while. I kind of lean down. I put the I pass a rose into his mouth through a kiss, and then I kind of we go upright, and then I kind of fling him away, and it's this. He's got a red sash, right? It kind of comes out, and it's I hold the red sash, and then it's I don't know, setting a blade, throwing a Beyblade out. He spins out
of it. Yeah.
And then I kind of give a bow.
Yes, and he leans against the window frame, disoriented, dizzy, still armed, still dangerous, but having been made an absolute fool. And I think there is a moment of stillness as the music pauses, and then the only thing that echoes throughout the clubhouse is Anish and Anrakhis' golf clap at your. And he says, excellent, marvelous. What did you say your name was again?
Bidrohi of House Ankhatam, Gentleman of Kethris. Because that's legally true.
Yeah, it is. You have impressed and amused me, and my guest, for which I am very grateful. You mentioned 3 requests. I will grant one of them.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. You can try to push for more, but that's his initial offer.
You know what? If he scuttles his patronage, then what? Then maybe he can leave Tumdurji alone, because it's not like Tumdurji is actually using his proprietary stuff. I don't know, or maybe it makes it easier. So I think I'll just say.
What will happen here is, I think Tumdurji isn't using his proprietary stuff, but he thinks that he might be, right? Because Falling Star don't command this guy, right? Their plan was we'll just tell our patron that this guy we hate has stolen his stuff. He'll be really mad. I don't think he will alleviate his suspicions, but yeah, it's a start.
Okay. I think I'll just play it safe, because there's a man who's still trying to kill me, and I should probably save my dice rolls for that. So I think I'll just kind of lean up and say, "Sir, one request fulfilled from you is the same as 1,000 requests fulfilled by lesser people. I understand this and I appreciate it. You have seen that these falling star people, they are on their last legs, absolute dregs, absolute little bitches. I've humiliated that man. They didn't even send their proper men. They don't have the proper men anymore. It's an absolute mess. You should cut all ties with them and reconsider who should be the premier sword school of Uduasha. Just something to think about, not pushing for that at the moment, but I think you understand that you cannot be associated with that sort of person anymore." And then I kind of pointed the man at the window.
Yeah, as you point, he says, he puts like his little finger to his lips in his mouth, and he thinks a moment.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he says,
I hate this man.
Very well, you're right. I find Ustad Jai Clev and his people to be has-beens, and the man seems to have gone insane lately, lying in his room all day. On that note, I think your dance partner is getting up. Da capo, he says, and he wants to see more sword fighting.
Yes.
And you are being attacked by this guy again. And let's keep Bidrohi in the spotlight for a second. Now you're actually being like, now this is not elegant sword fighting. This is just the guy who heard you go like, yeah, your Ustad sucks ass. And then their patron was like, I agree, your Ustad does suck ass. So this is not elegant. Now he's just angry anymore.
All right.
So he's just rushing at you. There's no elegance about it. He's just aiming to impale you.
Okay. I'm going to propose a devil's bargain for myself, which is, I'm not going to lock swords with him. I'm going to wait until he's right in front of me. Then I'm going to just use one sword stroke to take his head off. So essentially, the devil's bargain here is that I just do one stroke. There's no defense. It's just pure offense.
Yeah, that I will accept it. It's also, I will point out, killing. So it's heat and stuff. So I'll allow it.
But it's dueling. It's self-defense. I've been requested to do it by heat, but it's not illegal.
No, I know. You can take the devil's bargain, absolutely.
Yeah, just establishing that it's fine. Even though there's a captain of the Fursan in front of me. It's not my fault.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, this is very clearly self-defense, aside from everything else, but yeah.
Yeah. Position in effect, it's a skirmish. It could be a finesse, because it's a very smooth... It's the same dice pool.
Yeah, I think this must default to Desperate Great. Like, he is coming at you with deadly intent, you are coming at him with deadly intent. There's no other way to frame it than Desperate Great, I think.
Actually, I'm waiting for him with deadly intent.
Yeah, I know, but you both intend to kill each other with lethal weapons.
I'm just positioning myself in the samurai tradition.
Yep.
Okay. So it's Desperate Great, did you say? Okay.
Can I give you, because I've just picked up a shadow silk cloak from the body of the lurker. absolutely fucked up a while ago. Would you like that?
Oh,
Bidrohi?
that would be really nice because then I can look Anish Anrakhis in the eye and say, "Sir, you have the coolest clothes and the coolest materials. I will do this." And in fact, no, I think I won't say it in that way. I'm going to look him in the eye and I'm going to make him understand that I do this advertising him.
Yeah, so you're wearing his cloak.
Yeah, I wear his colors, as it were.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's a good idea.
All right. Then I think it's desperate extreme. And the
Okay.
extreme effect here is not only do you kill this guy, but Anish will be like, okay, sure. You fight for me. You're my guy. Absolutely. Point taken.
Excellent. Desperate extreme bonus
This does
dice
not,
from.
yeah.
Hmm?
We'll figure out exactly what that means after the score.
Okay, good. 1 bonus dice because I lose 1 still from being injured.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I should mark my fine elegant weapon, which is the very distinctive backwards curving sword, the sickle sword. That because it's important.
Yeah.
It's a 5. Okay, at least you succeeded.
Okay, so you wait until the very last moment to like take this guy's head off, and yeah, I think there is pretty much nothing else to it than I'm going to hit you hard with consequences here. I don't think that it's necessarily a fatal blow to you because you set yourself up well for this. So it's just a level 3 harm, not a level 4. But it still hurts. However, there is also another consequence, which is that he shreds the Shadow Silk Cloak. They're very delicate. So like it flutters out. He like stabs you through it. It catches on his sword. He rips it the fuck apart, and then the sword goes into you.
Okay, I'm going to first resist the harm, and we'll see if I still have any stress left to resist the other thing. Yeah, I think again it's prowess, right? To take the blow, but I get him before he can like drive it into me properly.
Yeah. Sure. Let's see the resistance.
6. Okay,
it's a 6.
Yeah, that one a freebie. Nice. And for the other one, so it just gets destroyed, right? The entire cloak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'm framing this as they're made of silk, right? They're fairly delicate, and it'll be torn up, it'll be stained, it'll be like you can salvage the silk from it, but it won't be a cloak anymore.
Yeah, I think the way I'm going to resist it is it's going to get torn up, but as I kind of like stand there, the victor, and then kind of like. The one guy is like lying dead on the ground, beheaded, and then the other guy kind of stands up. I'm going to take the shreds of the cloak, wipe my sword, and then I will walk up to Anish Anrakhis, kind of like limping.
Yeah.
Like just barely standing, but still like resolute. And I'm going to put the silk on his table, and I will say, "Sir, may I have a new one?"
Yes. Okay, let's see if you may have a new one. Roll this.
It's a resolve.
Roll. Or well, you may. Yeah, it's a resolve resist.
Resolve, yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see how much stress it costs you to make demands of this man. None. You roll
Nice.
6 again. Yeah. So he says, "Why, of course. Why, of course. Excuse me, Captain. I think we'll have to resume this conversation at a later date. But you know what to do." He pats her hand, and he just goes like, "Yeah, you may be the captain of the Fasan, but I have told you what I want, and I trust you will deliver it. And I'm bored of bribing you now. Goodbye."
That is also an excellent name for this session. I'm bored of bribing you now. Goodbye.
Yes.
Jot that down. Jot that down. I'm gonna jot that down.
And I'm going to cut back to the situation below, which is intensely chaotic. So Cutlet is back on his feet, and I guess he's primarily facing down Clem, who has become his most immediate opponent now, I think. I think his priority is going to try to kick you off his boat. And You know what? I don't even think he's going for Biscoot at this moment. He's like, okay, well, if he wants to drown himself, whatever, we ideally wanted to kidnap him, but if he's dead, close enough. This guy is standing up, armed with a punching dagger and a grappling hook. What do you do, Clem?
I've got a Rage Essence vial. Pure, straight-laced alchemicals instead.
Yeah.
Speaking of the punching dagger, how long has he had that? Is it time for a new? Is it time for a weapon shift?
Yes.
No,
I
he's
forgot.
had it for oh shit! It's like 10 minutes in like a game time.
Okay, D7. That's a 6, which is.
It's
I think
still
it's
not
fist.
gift. Gift is lust.
I think it's fist.
Okay, so he doesn't have a punching dagger anymore. He's just gonna aim to take you down barehanded, apparently.
Maybe he's got like brass knuckles or something, or like those kind of like tiger claw fist weapons.
I think it's just brass knuckles. Yeah, I think he's just gonna aim to punch. I mean, Bidrohi isn't the only one who can show off, right? And
yeah, of course.
I forgot that this guy has the power of God and anime on his side. So fair enough. Clem.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I hear you understood that reference. Very good.
I've just got anime on my side, and also unrelenting power of violence. See which is better.
Yes.
I think the important thing here is lay him long enough that the boat just speeds past.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Bring them out of range from doing anything to Biscoot. Sure.
Yeah. The grenades are just staring me down. I can't use a grenade on them. That'd be foolish.
Don't throw a grenade.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Oh no. Grenades. All of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
No. I think it's going in for a grapple then. Going in.
Just wrestling him down so that like the boat will crash into something. Yeah, fair enough.
Actually, wrestling him down and choking him out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Choking myself out because, again, just having time of this right now.
Okay, so you're actually taking your Rage Essence Vial. So I think that pretty much makes this desperate, because I feel like any time you use a Rage Essence Vial, it's desperate.
Yeah.
So, but I also think that, I think it's standard. I think you can do this. We have established that this guy is kind of badass, but he is like caught off guard and so on. So if your goal is to like take him down and choke him out, let's call that standard effect.
Fantastic. So desperate standard. What would the great effect look?
So great effect here would look like also taking control of the boat, like choking him out with one hand and steering with the other. Because you're fighting like by the back motor.
Oh, it would look so cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I will assist you for a die here.
Yeah, I'm going to push myself so that puts one stress off, so this benefit go well. But I think that it's important that it looks really cool.
Yes.
I would like to just describe here that what is happening is that Clem is attempting, presumably, to choke this guy out with one hand, wrestle the engine with the other, and behind her is an oldish person, an auntie really, merely chanting the name of her god. This is my assistant. Yeah, I am calling upon my god to work against the god of my opponent.
Yeah. I think how this assist is framed then is that this like swirling, many-faced like power you see about his face, right? If Clem succeeds here, it ends because your god ends things. So
yes, Clementine,
it
make us
probably
proud.
doesn't. Yeah, it might not end permanently, but it ends for now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Clem, you have a bonus dice.
I think this is also wreck.
Yeah, and I have an obvious devil's bargain, which is that while you can steer the boat, if you take this devil's bargain, you will sort of have to steer it, yourself and Saeeda, away from Biscoot, leaving only Mushfiq with the ability to help the drowning man.
Right. And is Biscoot Button drowning?
Probably.
Well, he's in the water and not a fantastic swimmer, so yeah, he didn't think this through.
Oh god. All right.
So you don't
I'm
have
not,
to take this devil's bargain to be clear.
I'm not going to take that, but can I offer a different one, please?
Okay.
So Clem is seeing Cutlet as themselves in this moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if I just kill myself? Like strangling myself out. What would that look like? Just interestingly.
Would you like to repeat that, but in an order that doesn't imply level 4 harm?
Level 4 harm, ego death.
Your goal here is not actually to kill him, right? But to choke him out.
No,
but,
yeah.
But you have this. Yeah. Okay. So I think I will take. Yeah. I'll give you a devil's bargain, which is blocking out the past. Like you'll be in. This is not how psychology works, to be clear, but it might be how psychology and traumas work in a fictional story. You will start to forget like the more traumatic elements of your past, except when you activate your traumatic flashbacks ability. I think that's like a logical, cool way to interpret this. Which means that you'll have memory gaps of like the more traumatic things in your life, right? You might forget people, you might forget events, and this gives me license to spring things on you which you don't remember.
Sounds great. I love it.
Yeah. Okay,
Fantastic.
write that down as like a permanent condition about your character, that you have memory. I'm losing so many words today. What is it called? Memory lapses? Memory gaps?
Memory blackouts, perhaps.
Memory blackouts, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
You're also having memory blackout sprints.
Yes. Indeed.
That's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so desperate, great. That's a 6.
It's a 6. So you are currently driving the boat like around in circles nearby the swimming people within, so that you can bring Saeeda in within reach. The help is good, possibly. You are choking out this guy and steering. And so both Saeeda and Mushfiq, you can see Biscoot like flailing in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And let's spotlight Mushfiq for a second first, since he is like in the better position to do something. But Saeeda can at least help now.
Yeah, no, I will. Mushfiq will protect this man with his life. And so the only question is how. So how's it look? Biscoot just jumped in without thinking, and now is himself drowning.
Yeah, he's flailing around. He's being like pulled under by. I mean, this is still a river, and one which is controlled by locks and canals and stuff. So when those are all open, there are pretty strong currents. So I think he's being pulled under. He's like struggling against it, and it's one of those things. Maybe he's being pulled under by the currents. Maybe he's being pulled under by like the weird god in the river. Unclear, but one of those two things.
Does Mushfiq see any ropes or anything? He was throwing those life things out.
Yeah. I think they're just called lifesavers, but yeah.
Lifesavers.
Yes, there are ropes. You're on a boat, so.
Yeah. So what Mushfiq will do is toss. Those carnival games where you have to toss those rings onto a bottle.
Ring toss.
Yeah, ring toss. So Mushfiq's gonna ring toss a lifesaver directly onto. Biscoot Botchan. So yeah, something to hold on to. Huh?
It sounds like a finesse then, like a very precise throw.
It's a very precise, yeah.
Okay, I think it makes sense. It's a finesse. We have established that these things are around because it's a Union barge. Yeah. Safety equipment is otherwise quite rare in Uduasha, but how am I framing this? I think risky standard. Yeah.
All right. So we see Mushfiq line up the shot. He holds his thumb out, holds it like a frisbee, and let's see how good the throw is. It's quite good. 5 and 5. Okay,
cool. So, you throw him the life thing. He catches onto it. He holds it, and your risky consequence here, unless you resist it, is that he's still pulled under, and you are now in a tug of war with whatever is down there, which is clearly no longer just currents.
Yeah, I think I can resist this by just being pretty strong.
Yeah, by just prowess pulling him out of the water.
Just pulling him out.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
The name of the god we're talking about, it's called the Deathbearer, Bringer of Endings.
Mm.
Niche protection? No, there's no niche protection here.
Yep.
It's particularly awkward because I wrote that, which means that clearly this ending thing has been on the brain, and then I forgot that it was on the brain, and then it came back onto the brain.
Well, anyway, there are different gods. I think this god ends things in different ways, though.
Yes.
By drowning them.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, you can prowess resist this for sure, and in that case, the supernatural just won't get involved.
Yeah, let's just pull him out of the water. Okay, 1 stress.
Yep.
Phew.
All right. So you haul and pull Biscoot back up on the boat, and he spits up water. He's like very afraid, and he goes like, "Oh dear. Well, boys, friends, we're all in this together. Us Kethrisi and us Skovlanders. We have to fish all those poor people out of the water, as many of them as we can. Everyone together now." And he's like organizing a rescue fleet, because that's just the kind of guy he is. There's a reason people like him.
We'll allow this.
Yeah.
How's what's Cutlet at? Like, still.
Cutlet is being choked out, right?
Cutlass is being choked out and now unconscious, probably in the back of the boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't get involved with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I guess. Yeah.
Sorry, I do have something that I want to do. Because the advance I took last time allows me to see the truth more clearly when I'm near death. And I believe that somebody took some devil's bargain about ego death or something.
Yeah.
Like just now. So it seems like this may be a good time for me to understand more. And what I want to do is I want to understand Clem better.
Okay.
And I don't know what kind of insight the Prince of Endings might give me.
Yeah,
but I am
absolutely. You can attune here, and it will be a risky standard. And the standard effect here is learning something interesting about Clem, I guess. But there is risk, because you are you're invoking your god, and so on.
Yes, absolutely. This makes sense.
Yeah.
I am deliberately not speaking the name of my god because I am asking for a blessing. I am not demanding a boon.
Yep.
Okay, so risky, standard, no bonus dice.
Attune, yeah.
5.
Okay. I'm just gonna whenever you do these things, I just go from whatever my first instinct is, right?
Yes.
So this is both your effect and your consequence. You can resist the consequence for more clarity, but otherwise your insight is this: Clem has already ended. I don't know what that means.
For fuck's sake.
Are you kidding me? Yes. Holy shit. Yes, this is exactly what I want to see. Oh my god.
Yes.
Clem
has
has already ended.
3. You should say Kawabanga.
Yeah, at least once.
Yes. This means that Clem is perfect for this group.
Clem and Mushfiq are both dead inside.
I cannot let them. I must protect them. I must treasure them. And so what I'm going to do is something very fucked up. I am going to mark my voice for song. I'm going to sing the ending of Clem. For it has been given unto me by the prince, and nothing else matters. And I hope, Salty, that this is fine, because it's what's happening.
Yeah, this is fun.
Great,
so
fantastic.
what is going to happen here is that Saeeda is going to sing a beautiful, heroic, courageous ballad of the Severosi with their heraldry and their stories of heroism, and Clem doesn't remember it and doesn't recognize it.
No, of course not. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes. And I think, I don't know, that Clem doesn't recognize it necessarily. I'm possessed. This is gonna be so fine, guys. It's gonna totally normal. Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
If you had said Kawabunga, then I might have trusted you.
Damn.
Very good.
I will
And I
consider
think-
it for the next time.
Yeah. And I think one more thing happens here below, and it's that the Bob, because all of this has happened very quickly, he comes out of the cabin on the barge, and he sees Biscoot ordering around these, like, the rescues of people, and he rushes up and he goes, "Yes, listen to that man, he knows what he's doing." He strides out, and then, like, as the other people pull everyone minus one guy out of the water, the Bob and Biscoot, like, look at each other, and there's this, like, extremely manly forearm handshake between them. They go like,
It's Full Metal Alchemist, absolutely.
yeah, we saved these people, and they nod at each other, and suddenly they are brothers.
Excellent.
Gender euphoria for men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
one can also have some gender euphoria as a treat.
Indeed. And I think that is mostly the score. Up in the clubhouse, Anish walks out with Mumtaz at his side. And I think the thing we see from up above is Mumtaz, like, looking over at Bidrohi and winking at him in gratitude. Because you haven't ruined her shit at all. You did what was asked. You have looked cool as hell. And she really appreciates and admires you. And she's still totally gonna, like, steal Anish's shit later. Which, now he's even distracted because he's thinking about you. So this is good.
Okay. And with a bloody hand, I extend a gulab jamun towards Shirobino and say, "They're very good."
And he says, "I don't have appetite right now." And he looks kind of sick because, unlike everyone else, he's not a badass. He does silly stage plays, and he is not accustomed to real blood.
What a guy. Fucking guy.
Did Captain Ruxana have any reaction? Just curious.
I think Captain Ruxana looked with a, like, distaste as this whole affair. Like, she is absolutely not happy about any of this. Right? But she's now in a position where Anish has given her an ostentatious bribe of the kind where if she backs out now and, like, turns it down, right, and gives back all the costly gifts he's given over the course of the dinner, including the dinner itself, it will be so rude that it puts her in danger. So it's one of those, when you have received enough bribes, you kind of can't back out anymore. And so this is the vibe for her. So she is going to become his fashion police, but she's not going to like it.
So I just give her a salute, and then I kind of, like, take a nap at the stable. Yeah, very good. I think everyone else vacates the premises, so you're left with this grand clubhouse to yourself, except for, like, the harmonica guy, I guess. Harmonium.
Harmonium, yes, sorry. Who was the only person in here to not be an assassin in disguise among the entire staff.
My favorite thing about this entire score, we didn't use our cohort one single time.
No.
We didn't need them.
I didn't want to risk them. I think that they are too good.
Yeah, you did use Pejal in the gather information phase, technically.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I guess the cohort was there with Mushfiq and Saeeda initially. It's just they're not crazy enough to jump into a moving boat. And also they have no means. Yeah.
We see them in the background playing Ludo.
Yeah. And like, they are not badass enough to jump onto a moving boat, and nor do they have Captain Mackerel disguises. So I think actually it makes sense that they were unable to help. They were not expecting things to go this way, but
fair enough.
yes. All right.
Nice.
So that's the score. Before anything, let me note down that Mushfiq can now add fine cover identity as an item because Captain Mackerel is established, and I think after.
What a fucked up incentive structure.
Yes.
What's what's the load?
Zero.
Zero, yeah. It's a zero load thing. It's just that the fine cover identity is just having your identity established, and like people know who you are. You have the paperwork and so on for it.
All right, fine cover identity. There we go.
Yep. And obviously, like, as the Bob and Biscoot like shake hands, they also include you in their brotherhood of like, good work, we saved as many men as we could. And the funny thing is, they still have no idea that they were being attacked. They just saw a boating accident and sprang into action.
We staged the attack so well. Yeah.
this is better than what I could have hoped for. Like, this, they didn't just come together because they were in danger. They came together for something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
It's
A beautiful
One real
reunion.
Touching.
It's making me all teary.
Positive masculinity in action.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Tearjerker, for sure.
What happened to Cutlet?
Well, he's passed out on a boat. I don't know. What do you do with him? Like,
Put the
do you
boot in.
give him back?
Give him back.
Yeah. I mean, you could kidnap him if you wanted to, or you could just kind of leave him in the boat. I don't know. I guess you can also steal the boat if you want to. That could also be a
Hey,
possible
wait.
reward.
Didn't the
Yeah,
Fursan
yeah,
want him?
Oh yeah, he is wanted by the Fursan for causing a lot of trouble. Yeah, you could just hand him over actually and have him arrested.
Will that get us better relationship with the Fursan? Because I think that would be very useful.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Julika is here. She could take him in.
Yeah.
She could
Yeah.
get some of her prestige back. Yeah.
Julika's waiting at the jetty.
Mm.
Okay. So, in the end then, there will not be coin in this score precisely, but there will be a variety of other things. There will be Mushfiq's identity. There will be improved relationship. Actually, I think there will be coin because there's probably a bounty on this guy.
Mm.
So,
Ka-ching.
So, in order then, the cover identity. Do you want to keep the boat? Because I think you can take the boat at the cost of getting the flatbread uncles down to -2 with you, and they really hate you. Because this was expensive.
I would like to see more of these guys, and I'd love to see more of the flatbread uncle.
Okay, then you can
So
take a
this
boat.
is- I think this is the second boat upgrade, straight up, right? It's a really good boat.
Yep, it's a really good boat. So,
Instead of like more cargo capacity or whatever, it's just speedboat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you're now at 0 with the Fursan. They didn't like you before. Now they're neutral to you.
Yay!
You're at -2 with the flatbread uncles. I also think that you are at. Let's say that you were actually enemies of House Anrakhis. I think they're back to 0. You get
that happened.
You get the terrified citizenry claim, which is you are the guys people pay protection money to now because you are very evidently good at protecting people.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like ironic protection money. This is literally straight up actual protection money.
Nice.
The
nice.
Falling Star, the Falling Star are no longer at war with you because of internal affair and internal strife.
I think it's time for them to drop in tier.
I think so too, actually. They have had their asses handed to them repeatedly. And I think the reason they drop in tier is mostly internal bickering at this point. And lastly, well, okay, no, there's also the coin. There's a lot to keep track of here. I hope someone is tracking this.
Yeah, I am.
Let's also say 4 coin as a bounty for bringing in this guy.
Okay. Do we get to apply grateful citizens on someone renamed terrified citizens to grateful citizens? Okay.
Yeah.
We're not terrorizing
Yeah,
them.
they're very grateful that we don't terrorize them.
Yeah, you can apply that right away. Absolutely. Yeah.
6 coin.
Biscoot doesn't know that he was being saved, but Saeeda's friend, the Begum, knows because she was aware of this whole plan. So she is probably the person who pays you out for this. Just, good job looking after that bumbling idiot that everyone loves.
How about we keep 2 coin in the vault and everyone takes 1?
Sounds good. The last thing I want to discuss is, do you guys want the patron special ability and do you want it to be Anish?
I don't like patron.
Yeah. I also get the feeling that most of the crew does not like Anish.
Yeah, I don't want Anish to be patron, and if I did want a patron, it would be me. I don't like letting anybody else have control over me. And that's definitely not diegetic. That's me in character.
Fair enough. Then instead, I think we can just add him as a crew contact. He's not a patron, but he is aware of your crew now. He thinks you're pretty cool. And so he is not your patron and not your sponsor in the arena, because I don't think he can turn around that quickly. But he does basically give his endorsement, right? Like the Falling Star or the Rising Moon School are cool. Go watch them in the arena. You're not his team. He's not going to be wearing your scarves, and he's not going to be waving your flags. But he's going to think you're a pretty cool team and a pretty cool sword school. So he's a crew contact, and he likes you.
Okay, so someone did this already. I noticed that we had Cutlet as a crew contact, and someone deleted him. Good.
Yeah. He
Goodbye.
is no longer a crew contact.
Bye-bye.
Yes. So you now have a very powerful man who is not a crew close friend, not a patron, but a guy you can go to. You have access to House Anrakhis, which is quite powerful in itself.
This is definitely an angle I want to see more of as we tier up, like getting more involved with the demon houses.
Yeah, absolutely. I had all sorts of cool things like lined up that he could do, but he never had a reason to do them. So.
Oh no, we'll give you opportunities for him to do it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Rep and Heat?
Princess just rolled for entanglement, it seems.
No, this was not entanglement.
No?
This was how well did the Anrakhis Fashion Police proceed? Because that's still happening.
I see. You rolled 4 dice and got a 5, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys have gotten all the 6s. So
Yeah.
when I think what happens is when this clock finishes, House Anrakhis will basically control the clothing industry in this town.
Oh fuck.
So that's, I mean, it sort of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
They
almost do it anyway. They almost do it anyway. But this time I guess they will literally do it. Okay.
Yep. And then I roll entanglement. No, wait. First we do heat, of course.
And Rep.
So, yes. So Rep, straightforward. Really, you were dealing with Falling Star Sword School. They were tier 3 at the time of this. You were tier 1, so that means 4 Rep.
Yep. Yeah. Cool.
And then heat. What do we say this was? It was not precisely controlled, but nor was it wild and chaotic either. Split the different 4 heat base? Is it reasonable?
I'd say so.
Yeah, I think so. Like there was some chaos and some violence going on, but overall you came out of it without too much obvious violence or too much chaos that you caused.
That guy did drown, but I guess we're about to take heat for him drowning in a sec. So.
Yeah, you do take 2 heat because killing was involved. A guy drowned and another guy got his head chopped off. You were at war, but you fixed that now, so I don't want to add the war point for it. They were high profile or connected targets, though. There is no way around that. So
New wanted level?
It did not happen on hostile turf.
New wanted level. Nice.
New wanted
New
level.
turf
But
as
you
well.
do take... Hold on, you do take -2 heat per score for your noble privileges. So I think actually you don't.
That's at the end of downtime.
Oh, yeah, that's at the end of downtime. Yeah, then...
During downtime.
No, it's just -2 heat per score. So whatever heat calculation you do, you remove -2.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. So in fact, you don't take a wanted level.
Oh.
Nice.
I mean, it'd be good to take a wanted level.
It would be, but we don't.
Yeah, that is actually how the claim works. Yeah, you just... Whatever heat you're about to take, you just take 2 less. So you don't have a wanted level. You're fine.
For fuck's sake.
Okay, and then I roll the entanglement. You are at high heat, so you are in the danger zone, but you roll a 1.
But I rolled a 1.
Yeah, so flipped or interrogation. One of your contacts, patrons, clients, etc. flips, or one of the crew gets questioned. Yeah, I think we'll go with the interrogation here.
Yep.
We have done with
makes
flips
sense.
a lot before. And the logical thing is just, apparently, since we haven't quite established what happens at the end of the score, I guess Captain Roxana is not so impassive after all. And as you sit down at the table to finish the food, Bidrohi, she is going to talk to you.
Okay.
And how this works mechanically is either pay them off with 3 coin, or you tell them what they know, 3 heat. You can resist each of these consequences separately. So normally they like beat you up as well, but I don't think that makes sense here because she has
been beaten up.
To.
Yeah, also been beaten up quite thoroughly. What does she want to know?
Yeah, so I think let's do this as a short scene, and then we'll move towards wrapping up.
Okay.
Yeah, she leans forward over the table. She looks at you like fairly seriously and narrows her eyes. You're Kethrisi. out east. Yes?
Born and bred, but also, this is important, 100% Uduasha boy.
Are you now? Well, it seems I am being recruited for Anrakhis' project, but make no mistake, I work on projects of my own. You know, quite a lot of food comes in from Kethris. Quite a lot of it comes via your community. Quite a lot is disseminated out to boarding houses, restaurants, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Bidrohi is nodding along at his people's accomplishments being acknowledged.
Yeah. She leans in and then she goes, "Do you pay taxes on that?"
Mm.
And what is going to happen here is that it's not your crew that is in danger. It's actually the community you've promised to protect, because the Kethrisi tax evade a lot. Obviously they do. They're dirt poor.
Mm-hmm.
But this woman's job is to catch smugglers. And we know, among other things, that Mushfiq has contacts that smuggle bananas into the city. So
Yes.
Mm. Okay. You know what? I'm soft and I'm reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my two traumas.
Yeah.
I'm going to look her in the eye and say, "Oh, yes, very much. We are paying taxes all the time. You should hear my mother going on about the taxes. There are two things in the world that make my mother go on the way taxes do. The only other thing in the world that makes my mother go on the way taxes do is my love life. Okay? Very concerned about that, very dissatisfied with my love life and also with the taxation system. And this is a very common attitude, but I think this, just because people are grumbling about the taxes doesn't mean that we are not good people who are not paying our taxation, okay? And I did not just come here just for having a nice chat and a nice dinner and also a nice dance. I came here also as representative of the Kethrisi community, and I believe we have some back pay, and I'm going to slam down 1 coin. I know that I owe 3 coin.
Yeah.
So I'm resisting to just be like 1 coin.
Okay, so 1
that
coin
fair?
and some stress. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I think she's obviously not incorruptible. She just took a big bribe, so she can be convinced to oversee.
2 stress. That's still fine. Okay.
Yeah. So apparently 1 coin is all the back pay taxes all of you and your friends own, and she's going to be like, yeah, very good.
Excellent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fair. You pay a coin, you resist some, and that's the entanglement dealt with.
I think then I'll just also say, and this doesn't have to be a roll, I'll say,
Mhm.
you know, currently there's like a lot of hullabaloo in Bunderwest. You know, there's like the Skovlanders and there's like, you know, what I know that the Fursan are having a lot of problems enforcing order and getting these taxation systems, you know, free flowing. Then there's the water bearers taking their cuts and all that. I think in the next coming months, you're going to see a lot more organization, the Kethrisi community being more united, and you'll know who to come to, and we can have a very good relationship, the Kethrisi community and the peacekeepers of Uduasha.
I'll think about that.
Mhm.
That is a very compelling offer. Certainly better than chasing skirts. She says.
Captain, it's not an offer, it's a statement of fact.
Very good.
Please enjoy. Please
I will
enjoy the
keep
future about to come.
Yeah. And she walks out being very much like, she did not mean chasing skirts in any sort of metaphorical sense. She's just like, yeah, that's going to be my job now, is it? Track down clothes. Fuck this. Yep.
Enjoy. Enjoy the future about to come, as I said. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. That's the score, and I think that's a good place to round off the session. Really.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Muy bien.
As the bees buzz around Paliduddin, whatever the fuck his name was. Dalimuddin, yes.
Yes.
Pudding. Yes. Nice.
Uh-huh. And we will get into precisely what this means for the Falling Star Sword School. But I think one last thing I want to establish is, I think what will happen is they have an internal leadership struggle, and Jai Clev is just considered like, the excuse is, he's too old, he needs to retire now, he needs to, grow a rose garden or something. He won't be in charge, and therefore the organization won't be at war with you. They are also going to have lost their patron and be infighting and so on. This does not mean that Ustad Jai Clev stops being your rival. On the contrary.
Mm-hmm.
But for now.
Good.
Very good. So that's the session. We are going to do XP now, and if you follow us on Patreon, you will get to hear our after game talk, including XP and a little bit of us chatting about plans for the future. But if you are not on Patreon, this is where we say goodbye. Here close the doors to the House of Endings. Those who dwell within are Zoheb, called Klow, Aadiyat, called Soap, Symmetry, called Tree, and Salty. I have been Prince, your host. Our city of Uduasha is based on Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions, with special thanks to Johnstone Metzger. Follow us on Twitter or support us on kofi.com/desperateattune. If you want to engage further with us, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/desperateattune, where you will get our newsletter, extra content, and updates from Uduasha.
On the next episode of Desperate Attune.
Welcome to you, guest, to the court of the King of Lies. I am Saeeda Khatab, its vizier.
You stole from me.
That is a serious charge indeed. Do you have any evidence of this act?
I think there is like you don't even see her move. She like grabs your face, suddenly she's in front of you, her fingers are around your face, and she says, "The taste passed over your lips." And it's not that you have stolen a mango, it's that you have stolen the taste of a mango.
Yeah, absolutely. I get this.